problems facing Liverpool in the biggest crisis of Jurgen Klopp's reign. An article by James Pearce that I spoke about in my previous video on The Athletic, which I have not read yet. I've literally stopped the last video and loaded up the article, and we're going to take a look at it. We're not going to read it all to you. I want to pick out some bits in here that may be of interest. You're getting sacked in the morning goaded the home supporters in the closing stages as Klopp gritted his teeth and thrust his hands deep into his pockets on the touchline. Okay. Some people I saw on social media said that's not very helpful. James putting that suggestion out there, which I can understand why some people might say that, but he has got a job to do, and if that's what's happening somewhere, maybe people want to know that. Can I? Pulls the coffee machine forward, puts the tablet on that this is going to fall off in it. We're going to be in tears in a minute, but I want to make me a cup of tea. There is no chance of that happening. Klopp retains the full backing of the club's owner, Fenway Sports Group, and understandably so. So that's quite nice, isn't it? I think that's James Pearce trying to be nice after he was shut down. I was funny that when I think that's one of the best things I've ever seen in all my time doing KopTalk. It's just funny. Right. Certainly, the vast majority of the fans remain firmly behind a man who has been the most transformative figure in Liverpool's history since Bill Shankly. Having led the club to such dizzy heights, he has earned that loyalty and support during such a bleak period. Yet there are some uncomfortable questions for Klopp to answer about the sudden decline of a team which now looks so blunt at one end and so vulnerable at the other. The problems keep growing and he is struggling to come up with the answers. That's a fair point. Yes, a lack of investment in the squad has contributed to their current woes. Yes, all the off-field uncertainty, because the sentence went over to the matter. Yes, all the off-field uncertainty and upheaval doesn't help matters, with FSG President Mike Gordon stepping back to oversee the search for a new investment, and Sporting Director Julian Ward preparing to leave in the summer. But that doesn't excuse what's being served up. Liverpool have conceded 3 goals, blah, 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 in 3 successive away league games for the first time since November and December 93, and it's happened not against Arsenal, the Manchester clubs, Chelsea or Spurs, but against Brentford, Brighton and Wolves. Let that sink in. I think we're going to keep that knife here, actually. Every fixture now looks laced with danger. There are far too many players in that dressing room feeling sorry for themselves. Some need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Is anyone going to step up to prevent this season from completely unravelling? I think he's right there. Because I don't know if I said this in a video a few days ago or whether it was on the live stream on Saturday night just gone. We'll be doing a live stream on here on Saturday this weekend. Don't do anything this Saturday. And I don't think I'm doing one the following weekend. So this Saturday, 7:30 PM on this channel, 7:30 UK until late. Get yourself a few beers and we'll be talking live, right, in real time on here. I'd love you to come along. And then later in the evening, it does get a little bit silly because you've got a few drinks and music and that. But if you want to be a part of something, come along on Saturday, because last Saturday was amazing. And I think I said on that stream about who's taking control. I'm sure I would have said it in a video as well. Who's taking control? From the top to the bottom, it's like, there's a problem in the coaching setup at the moment because we've got disagreements allegedly between other coaches and people feeling a bit put out. Who's taking control of that situation? That should be a manager, surely. Maybe a chief executive, I don't know, but it's like we haven't got one. I said that the other day. This is the first time when you said, who's the chief executive of the Liverpool Football Club? Most people go like, I don't know. It's that Hulk Hogan guy, innit? Or, Flash Gordon. Nobody, like in the past, you'd say Rick Parry, here and there. Christian Pearce, although he was the managing director, but same thing. So someone needs to take control of all this, and I think that James Pearce is right. Is anyone going to step up? Where's your captain? Now, you might say, your captain is, it's one with the armband. Well, I remember a few years ago out here talking to Steve McMahon, and we were having a beer. And who else was there? Oh, it was Steve McMahon, Roy Evans, me, and my son Rob. And we were at a very exclusive place. I can't remember how far where it was, but it was out here in Spain. It was great, man. I loved it. Because, I mean, Steve McMahon was one of my heroes as a kid, to be honest with you. I'd love to see him out there on the pitch now, that is for sure. He'd sort these. Anyway, and Roy Evans, probably the nicest man to do with Liverpool football. That's just such a wonderful human being, as Brendan Rodgers would say. He's fantastic. So, he said to me, Steve McMahon once, because I remember having this discussion with him actually a few years back. At the time, it would have been around actually, because years is flying by. Where's the sugar? Oh, I've done the sugar. I'm sorry. It was when Steven Gerrard was no longer captain and Jordan Henderson was. I don't know if it was recent to that or a year after that, I don't know. But we were talking about captains and I asked him and I said, do you think Jordan Henderson is a good captain? I gave my opinions at the time about 5 yards. Remember we used to call him 5 yard, don't we? Because he always passes 5 yards. My cousin went mental once. He said, have you seen that? Jordan Henderson, most passes in the Premier League or something like that. I went, yeah, and he went, all he does is pass back to his centre back 5 yards. I couldn't stop laughing. He's a Leeds fan. Anyway, so Steve McMahon said to me, he said, when we were, playing the successful team of the 80s and that, when I was a kid, when I absolutely loved supporting Liverpool back then, they were my heroes, they were my everything. They are today, I've got to be honest with you, because football's changed so much. I know I'm old and miserable. As Martin Mason kindly pointed out in the comments yesterday, you're looking old, don't. I've been unwell, and I'm nearly 50, and I had an hangover as well. Anyway, I can't say what I want to say to you, Martin Mason, because YouTube will tell me off for swearing. McMahon said, in that Liverpool team back then, Duncan, he said, we had like 4, 5, 6, whatever captains in the side. He went, the armband was irrelevant. Who wore that? Yes, they were the captain, but he said we had other captains on the pitch that didn't have the armband. I can't say what I want to say because YouTube will tell me off. And I thought that was a really good point that he made at the time. And can you, even the dog's agreeing with me, can you say that about the current Liverpool side now? I mean, first of all, it feels like we haven't got a captain at the minute, and I'm not digging at anybody at all. I've got no reason to, and this is just a reference to what James Pearce is saying. Is anyone going to step up? And even if he said, yeah, the captain's fine, there's no problems with the captain if he's on the pitch or whatever. Who else? I know we all going to pick obvious people out. Van Dijk, Robertson, Robert. Anyway, it's irrelevant. I just think it's a good point. The Merseyside derby against revitalised Everton at Anfield next Monday, followed by a tough trip to 4th place Newcastle. Even the first leg of the Champions League last 16 tight home to Real Madrid, holders Real Madrid, then it's Palace away before the visit of a resurgent Manchester United. See, the way that's written, he's not done anything wrong, right? But it's just my natural reaction now. I look at that. That's supposed to make me all like, ooh, fuck. Like, no! I got scared of anyone, even during all this that's going on. I know, like, the last few games we've played, you guys have been... I'm like, keep picking up the spoon to stir the tea when I get angry, I think. You guys recently have been going, oh, we'll lose that at the weekend. And I'm like, come on, guys, don't have that attitude. You might think that, but don't keep telling people that, right? Because me, I'm like, I look at them and I think, you know what I mean? No, I'm not having that. Anyway, then he goes on talking about the returns of Jota and Virgil van Dijk. Will provide a much needed lift, blah, blah, blah. But let's get on with it. There's no reference yet to being silenced by Klopp. And I think that is really embarrassing if he doesn't mention it in the rest of the article, right? Or if he's mentioned it in another article I haven't seen, I'm sure I would know about that. But if that had been me silenced by Jurgen Klopp, I would have to make reference to it because I know everybody else was taking the mickey out of me. And I would poke fun at myself and say, hey, put me in my place too, right? Yeah, fair play, Jurgen. Just think how good... Will you shut up, man? Right? Just think how, that would make him look good, wouldn't it? If you're trying to hide it like it never happened, I think that's really poor. I'd have wrote an article about the whole thing, mate. Just saying. Right. Right, he's now going on about different players. He's talking about Andy Robertson lost the initial battle with Matheus Cunha. That's a player that we sniffed around, of course. Right, okay. Painful wound, self-inflicted. I want to... Mo Salah cut a forlorn figure. Someone needs to go in there and absolutely kick off. I tell you. It's also disjointed. Now, you see, I'm not going to go to James Pearce here. He's saying it's also disjointed, and I think many of us would agree with that. But you can't blame FSG. Well, you can and you can't. It's really difficult because the manager, FSG cannot, whatever's there, that's what you've got. You've got to do something with it, right? It's like Dave with the old paintbrush. The boss can come in and say, well, you're going to have to do it as best as you can, right? So FSG can't be blamed for everything, but what's happening on match day is really because of a lack of underinvestment over the years that has caught up, right? As the players are getting older, it's now, I don't think I need to... Wait, you don't get down in a minute. He's nicking his... Not his front bit, his back bit. How does he do that? How would you get your head... Wait! You can't be there nicking your... But I'm there talking to them. What's up with you? You need a female dog as a friend. Right, let's have a look. You won't get this. You won't get these kind of little conversations, would you, on these top red channels, isn't it? Now it's others laughing at Liverpool's expense. I agree, because at the end of that Wolves game, they were passing them every single pass. Oh God, we look terrible. Right, okay, he's talking about Klopp's quotes. There's nothing in here to do with, people are saying that, when he was pulled up, they were saying it's... People have put loads of examples in as of what they thought it was that James Pearce... why James Pearce was singled. People saying, well, it was Melissa Reddy's article that angered the boss. Oh dear, imagine waking up in bed with James Pearce in the morning thinking you were in bed with... I can't find anything to do with... We're going to have to do some more digging. I thought we were going to find something unless I just don't get it. I can't go on the phone while I'm recording. Can I don't know. What's my tablet is balanced on a coffee machine. I need to find this for you guys. I really do. Who's she? Let's have a look. So apparently, The Athletic said the real issues are out of FSG's hands. The global economy is struggling to shake off the twin effects of COVID-19 and the war in Ukraine. Oh, okay. You also have the Glazers putting United up for sale 2 weeks after it. It makes you laugh when they talk about the global economy after COVID and all that. You have billionaires, and it makes me laugh when people go, oh, they haven't got the wealth that they used to have. They've only got 26 billion now. They don't have 28 because of COVID. Okay. Well, I was hoping it was going to be James Pearce saying something along those lines, but it wasn't, so we have to let him off. And apparently The Athletic is saying, and I can't verify this because I haven't read it clearly. I should be at my desk now, to be honest with you, but these are things I'll look into today. The Qataris are looking for a minority investment in a Premier League side and will most likely mirror the 10 to 15% they're looking to sell in their current club, PSG. The Athletic are also supposed to have said FSG may be able to persuade Redbird Capital Partners to almost triple its investment in the transatlantic sports empire from 11% to 30%. The move could realise an additional £1 billion for Liverpool's owners, and that's what we were talking about over the weekend. But if someone, if they increase their stake in FSG and it gives £1 billion to the owners, John Henry and Co., There's no guarantees that they're going to spend that money on Liverpool. The Athletic again, Crystal Palace co-owners Josh Harris and David Blitzer are at the front of the queue for buying stakes in either Liverpool or Manchester United. We really don't want that one. Can you stop whatever you're doing? Oh, he's eating a bone. I feel bad now. I thought he was licking his nut. The teams die of. Is that the Athletic again? See, I would not normally ever make a video for you without having the facts in front of me. I hate relying on other people's comments. That's a good point, actually. I just read this on social media here to do with the Athletic. And it says, if we were to compare FSG's attempts to sell Liverpool to the sale of a house, it might be time to try a different estate agent, because 3 months in and no firm bids. I don't think that's how it works, guys, to be honest with you. I think that's unfair on those that are trying to deal with this process, because I don't think we would have seen any firm bids prior to now. Listening to finance people, they seem to think that February would be the month where there would be maybe a serious list of people that might be interested in submitting those bids. And I think that, I'm not, I like to be very specific with the things I say. I think people are expecting to see something on that front in February. All right? I'm not committing to that view myself at the moment. There's reasons for that, but let's leave that. Okay then. So, I haven't even been on the members website this morning. Let's have a look what's on there. They're basically on the members. We have what's called a shout box on the members website. It's like a little chat room on the right hand side, and they're actually talking about the things I've just read, believe it or not. There's stuff on there about Redbird. Okay. Alright, so I guess it was the Athletic that's saying these things and not specifically James Pearce. Which is disappointing, because I really wanted to laugh about it, but poor James. I don't know. Everyone hates James. I don't hate James Pearce. I know, like Seano that watches my videos, and he's a big part of the KopTalk community, and he comes on all the streams. The streams are terrible without Seano. He's a good kid. I love it when he's there. He's such a good sense of humour. He was behind the Fenway We Come Not to Pay all them years ago, and everything he said turned out to be right. Every single thing, and the hate and targeting and the harassment that he was subjected to by the top Reds and that was off the grid, and everything he said was right. And he can't stand James Pearce. He just says what he thinks. I don't know. He's right. Everything he says is right anyway. Right, I'll go. That's a few videos to keep you occupied. I should really go and do some proper work now. If you've supported Let's Make KopTalk TV great again, please do read the video description below. Make sure your name's on that list, or if you would like to. And it's interesting really, because when I came up with that idea last year, because I was struggling last year with the video content, I didn't have the equipment. My computer, my iMac goes back to like 2011, 12, I think, something like that, and it was making my video recording impossible. And it's quite ironic, because I think we are making KopTalk TV great again, because these videos where I'm just having a cup of tea with you in the morning or at night or at various breaks during the day are proving really popular with you guys. You like them, and it's kind of ironic because I'm not using my studio at the moment. But I do think we've succeeded in making KopTalk TV great again, because a lot of you are saying to me, loving the vids, Dunk, it's just like back in the day, like before, when I was extremely passionate about things. And I've spoke to people about that, the last few days, saying, why is it so, like, stood in kitchen with that rubbish picture that my missus bought years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, why? I guess when you sit down, you're not as passionate, I think, for a start. It's more formal, and you're ready to record, and it's like, you know what I mean? Whereas just here, it's like, just stick phone on there and upload it. But, you know, that doesn't mean that I don't need your support, guys. I really do. This is my gig, you know, this is what I do for a living. And if you appreciate, you know, my content, then of course, you know, I really appreciate the support you can give. But you don't have to do that financially, you know, by becoming a member or whatever. A comment on here is inspiring, you know, usually. So I'll read the comments and I think, that's nice, that, you know, and because I think you guys are enjoying the videos at the moment, I'm trying to do as many as I can, so that proves how it makes a difference, you know. But yeah, there's someone used this. I think it was. Oh my God, he'll kill me. Wow, I'm not even going to mention it because I forgot his name. And that's terrible. He hasn't been on my videos for weeks and weeks and weeks, if not months. So I think I deserve to be excused for that one. And there's a lot of people on here. But yeah, I think there's a thing under the video where you can thank. I think I don't know how it works. I'm too old for it all. Can't remember his name. All right, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. And for as long as you give me the feedback that you do, I'll keep doing them. Right, I'm off.